Of our month-long trivia presentation, tournament that we're doing. And we're glad you're here. You have chances to win some amazing, amazing prizes. We're going to add those into the comments so you can see them. But basically, I really want to thank the Hospitality Suites, Key West Hospitality Suites down in Key West for giving us a 2-night stay. Also, the Essex Culinary Resort and Spa in Essex, Vermont, they gave us a 2-night stay. And we've got tons of extra prizes too. So we're going to get going with tonight's version of 30 and 30. It is episode number 25. If you didn't notice last time, if you see the circle changing color there down in the lower left-hand corner, that's letting you know how much time is left on each slide. So that'll help you with answering tonight as well. If you're not sure how much time you have left to answer a question, you can look there. It'll be on the other side in red during the questions. You'll see what I mean. So if you're joining in and you want to join the score sheet, that's the bit.ly link. A lot of you probably have gone to it already, but that's how you keep track of your scores tonight. I am back in Vermont, so I want to thank Don Dingman for leaving some Lawson's Finest Liquids Sip of Sunshine. It's an IPA. I didn't have any beer here. We're going to move our way on to round number 1, multiple miscellaneous. Here we go with question 1. Originally known as Research in Motion, or RIM, by what name is the company now recognized? Is it A, Tesla? Is it B, BlackBerry Limited? Is it C, Google LLC? Or D, the Boeing Company? That's question 1 of round 1. Thanks, Don Dingman. Leaving your beers in the fridge. Let's move on to question number 2 of round 1. More than 100 million viewed. What 1983 TV movie set in Lawrence, Kansas about a nuclear strike on the U.S.? Is it The Day After? B, Aftermath? C, When the Wind Blows? Or D, Failsafe? More than 100 million people viewed what 1983 TV movie set in Kansas? Those are your 4 choices. And here we go on to question number 3. Codenamed Operation Overlord, what did the D in D-Day stand for? Is it A, Dunkirk, B, Decisive, C, Day, or D, Détente? Question 3 of round 1. Now, hopefully I have your attention. Really important. If you want to be a part of this tournament, make sure you go to trivtrack.com, and you might have a team registered already, but you need to register for tonight's game. You're going to click 30 in 30. So make sure your team is registered for tonight so it shows up on the scoreboard. All right, let's move on to question 4. Which city's subway system, one of the few in the world that runs 24 hours a day, will shut overnight starting this week to provide more time for disinfection? Is it A, San Francisco, B, New York, C, Washington, D.C., or D, Boston? I think it actually did shut down already. So change will shut overnight starting this week to did shut overnight starting this week. Question 4 of round 1. Question number 5. What gland produces cortisol, the stress hormone? Is it A, adrenal, B, thyroid, C, salivary, or D, pituitary? Your 4 choices for question number 5. Obviously, arriving in Vermont last night at almost 11 o'clock at night, we have some new surroundings here. Hopefully you enjoy the king. On to question number 6 of round 1. I intend to live forever. So far, so good. And what's another word for thesaurus? Are deadpan jokes by what comedian? I didn't emote the right deadpan-ness during that question, but is it Mitch Hedberg, A, Louis C.K., Stephen Wright, or Jack Benny? A, B, C, or D? I intend to live forever. So far, so good. And what's another word for thesaurus? It's more appropriate, I guess. Here we go. On to question 7. Citing confidential conversations with other officials, Joe Biden refused to allow a search of his senatorial papers, which are not public, at the University of Delaware for records pertaining to what woman? Is that Lisa Stone, A, Tara Reid, B, C, Megan Teja, or D, Marie Johnson? Those are your choices for question 7 of round 1. On to number 8. What television variety show consistently featured a comedic song with the lyrics, I searched the world over and thought I found true love. You met another and you was gone. Is that Hee Haw, Laugh-In, Carol Burnett Show, or Sha-Na-Na? I watched all of them. And hey, I want to thank you guys for your feedback at the end of trivia, the trivia bit.ly link that brings you to our score sheets. At the end, we ask for feedback. We're taking it into account, hence the circle that lets you know how much time you have left on each question. But we're adding more and more items as we move forward. Question number 9. Since Ted Williams hit 406 in 1941, what player has come the closest to hitting over 400 in a full season? Is that Yaz, Carl Yastrzemski, B, Derek Jeter, C, Tony Gwynn, or D, Barry Bonds? Question number 9 of round 1. There are 10 questions each round, so we're going to move on to question 10. That'll be it for round number 1 with this one. What line of tote bags by the French luxury goods maker Hermes is named after an English actress and singer? Is it the Faye bag, the Balenciaga City bag, the Alma bag, or the Birkin bag? A, B, C, or D for that. And make sure when you're finished with this round, you click the submit button. What that'll do is send us your score, send us your answers. There are several times where people didn't press the submit button or closed out of their browser and didn't have their scores come to us. So please do that. Click submit. And with that, we're going to move on to round 2 in just a moment. Round 1's miscellaneous. Round 2, you actually have to type in the answer. So we gave you a little bit more time on each of those. So our bit.ly link is bit.ly, and then you have to type that in with round 2. See where it says R1? It's R2 for round 2, R3 for round 3. So round 2 is names a city. What that means is coming up. All right. This round consists of clues that reference a famous person whose first or last name is also the name of a city. Okay? For example, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So either the first name or last name. All right? So what man played both Maynard G. Krebs and Gilligan? That's question number 1. Once again, either the first name or last name is also the name of a city. Might be a city in the United States, might be a world city, a city in a different country. Question 1, what man played both Maynard G. Krebs and Gilligan? I never watched the first show, but I watched my share of Gilligan's Island. With that, let's move on to question number 2 of round 2. It's a long one, so listen carefully. What woman has been ranked number 1 by the Women's Tennis Association, the WTA? She was the first Asian player to hold the top ranking in singles and won her first 2 Grand Slam singles titles in back-to-back Grand Slam tournaments at the 2018 US Open and the 2019 Australian Open. What is that woman's name? Once again, either her first name or last name, I'll give you a hint, most of them are last names, is the name of a city somewhere in the world. A predominant city. Or a city you've heard of. With that, let's move on to number 3 of round 2. Who was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in the film Gladiator and subsequently earned Best Actor nominations for films in 2005, 2012, and 2019? So think about the supporting actors in Gladiator. And then, which one or which ones had a first name or last name that's the name of a city, either in the United States or somewhere in the world? That's question 3 of round 2. And hey, folks, thanks for joining us. We're here definitely every Monday and Wednesday. We're going to add a few dates to our schedule. We'll let you know shortly. Question number 4. Although featured in several films, who is best known for being co-creator of the MTV series Jackass? That's question 4 of round 2. And make sure you're registering your team on TrivTrack. That's what's going to let you have the scores that count for our Spring Fling 20 tournament we're doing. Basically, every team that plays gets a point, okay? Or gets your name in a hat, I guess is a better way to say it. If you come in first, you get 3 additional times your name gets added in a hat. Come in second, it's 2 extra times. Come in third, it's 1 extra time. Here we go, on to question number 5. Often referred to by her initials, who has a first name which fits this category, which is names a city, a name which also references the second largest city in Egypt? Question number 5 of round 2. This Saturday, we've been doing some theme trivia on Saturdays. We did a sports round, or a sports theme, with Clayton Truder. We did a Seinfeld theme. Shayna hosted that. We're going to do a rom-com, a romantic comedies theme this Saturday. So make sure you check it out, 7 p.m. Kind of a bonus one. Question number 6. What fitness instructor had her own show on ESPN and is sister-in-law to U.S. Open champion Tracy? So what fitness instructor had her own show on ESPN and is sister-in-law to U.S. Open champion Tracy? To be specific, I think she was on ESPN for a little bit, but she was on ESPN 2 more often. She's kind of gone out of the scene, so now she's on Ocho, ESPN Ocho. Going to move on to question number 7 of round 2. What man in 1973 was named Most Valuable Player of the American League for the season and won the series Most Valuable Player award? He helped the A's win the World Series again in 1974. So what man in 73 was the MVP of the American League for the season, and won the series, the World Series Most Valuable Player Award. And he helped the A's win the World Series again in 74. So, a couple hints in there. He's definitely maybe known more for another team he played on. Let's move on to number 8. What singer, also known as Queen of the Blues, became one of the most influential vocalists of the 20th century despite her death at the age of 39? She had been cited as the most popular black female recording artist of the 50s. All right. Once again, name is a city. Okay. Question 8. We're looking for the singer who is known as the Queen of the Blues. Died at 39 years old and called the most popular black female recording artist of the 1950s. With that, enter your guess as we move on to number 9, one of the United States' earliest presidents, who's been called the father of the Constitution. Once again, one of the United States' earliest presidents, who has been called father of the Constitution. That's question number 9 of round 2. Hey, once again, folks, if you missed me earlier explaining this, when you are checking out trivia, if you want to know how much time you have left on each question, you'll see a red circle. It's almost complete now, around the 9, as in question number 9. That lets you know when the question is expiring and we're moving on to the next one. All right? So, question 10 of round 2. What man is famous for writing many classic songs, including White Christmas, There's No Business Like Show Business, and God Bless America? The last question of round 2. Once again, when you're finished, folks, make sure you hit submit. All right? Don't X out of if you're on your phone especially, don't X out of the page or the screen. Make sure you hit submit so that we receive the questions, or we receive your answers, I should say. About 10 more seconds here, and then we're going to move on to the answers to round number 1. I'll let you know the answers to round 1. As I said, that's it for round number 2. Some amazing prizes this month. Every team has a chance to win. If you play, you have a chance to win. If you win or come in second or third, you get in the hat a little bit more often. With that, let's go through the answers to round number 1, the multiple miscellaneous. Blackberry, B, answer to number 1. Number 2, The Day After was the name of that TV movie that a lot of people watched about nuclear war. Strangely, the D in D-Day stands for day. Codenamed Operation Overlord. New York shut down its subways this week at night. The adrenal gland produces cortisol, the stress hormone. One of my favorites, Stephen Wright. Answer to number 6. Number 7, Tara Reid, or Tara. I don't know which. Hee Haw. I'm not a huge fan of country music, but I love that show. Tony Gwynn, answer to number 9. Came close. I'm going to guess 396, maybe he hit. The Birkin Bag. Jane Birkin. Answer to number 10. That's it for the answers to round number 1. Hope you did all right. Hey, we're going to move on to round number 3. So once again, the bit.ly link is listed there. Instead of R1, you're going to have R3. It's the same bit.ly link all night with the exception of the round number. Round number 3, last scenes. Last scenes. So now, if you've played a lot, you remember we did opening scenes of TV shows. What this is, last scenes of film. So this round consists of the visual clues. Each clue is an animated GIF or of an ending scene to a film. Name the film. All right, so you're going to be naming the film for each of these. We'll start you off, hopefully, in the right direction. Name the film. Not the character, not the actor. You're naming each film. That's number 1. And hey, if you want to see how you're doing in this tournament, you go to trivtrack.com, which you should be registering your team for every night. Every time we have a trivia, you need to go in, just sign in. You click 30 and 30, and you're on the scoreboard. Doesn't take more than that. On to number 2, film number 2. But when you do sign into TrivTrack, what you can do is also click on info or leaderboard for this specific tournament. You'll see a tab for tournaments, and you can see how teams are doing, how the cumulative scores are going, all of that. I'm going to be independently of that, adding team names into the hat, so to speak. Every time we do a trivia, if you win, you get your name in 3 times plus 1 time for just playing. If you're in second place, I'll tell you in a second. On to number 3. Name the film from this ending scene or last scene. If you come in second place, you get your name in 2 additional times. If you come in third place, you get your name in 1 additional time. Every single team that plays gets their name in the hat just for playing. I don't care if you get 0 on every round, as long as you're filling out your answers on our score sheets and you've registered your team in TrivTrack for that night. Okay, here we go. On to number 4. Name the film from this last scene, this final scene. That is question number 4. We will, just in a moment, move on to number 5. Now, what happens after we ask the questions to round number 3 is we go through the answers to round 2, followed by the answers to round 3. Here we go. Film number 5. Name the film. Once again, hope you join us as much as you can during these times. We're on Monday and Wednesday. We have some special ones on Saturday nights. Classic Donald Sutherland. Number 6. Name the film. Hope you join us, especially in May, because you have more and more of a chance to win our humongous prizes. 2-night stays, either in Key West or Vermont. In Vermont, we have a massage for 2. Down in Key West, we have sunset cruise for 2. Up here in Vermont, we have breakfast and dinner included. Down in Key West, we have gift cards at a couple of different restaurants and breweries. Amazing stuff. Let's move on to number 7. Name the film. Again, one of my favorites. Probably in the top 10 of my favorites, actually. The other thing I can suggest, folks, a lot of people are playing at home, enjoying trivia, but they're losing by a few points every night. Play as a team. There are many apps out there that you can play on to question 8, on to film number 8. But there's FaceTime. You can always do it through Facebook. There's House Party. There's Google Hangouts. There's Zoom. There are plenty of choices. So call up your friends. Play together. That's what this is meant for, to bring people together. So hopefully you can grab some friends, play as a team, and raise your chances of winning some amazing prizes. All right? Take your last look at number 8. As we move on to our last couple of clues, number 9. The very last scene, obviously, of that film. And hey, take your last look at number 9. We're going to move on to number 10. This is our last clue tonight. Want to thank you for joining us. We appreciate seeing you here. Number 10, name the film. You know it. You know it. Yeah. Monday, Wednesday this week, we're doing a romantic comedy theme on Saturday night. Shayna will be hosting that. So make sure you join us at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday night for romantic comedy night. Next week, we'll have a little bit different schedule. We'll let you know what that entails as we get closer. Please help us out and like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button right now. It means a lot to us to get that support from you. That's the end of round number 3. Let's go through the answers to round number 2. Names a city. The name is also a city. Here we go. Bob Denver played Gilligan, and Maynard G. Krebs. Naomi Osaka. Naomi Osaka is who we were looking for. Joaquin Phoenix played Commodus. Johnny Knoxville. Answer to number 4. With that, on to answer number 5. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I think the only one in this round where the first name matched a city. Denise Austin. Sister-in-law to U.S. Open champion Tracy Austin. Denise Austin taught fitness classes. Reggie Jackson. I'm a Red Sox fan, but I loved Reggie. Dinah Washington. Answer to number 8. She was known as Queen of the Blues. Dinah Washington. James Madison. Father of the Constitution. On to number 10. That's Irving Berlin. Those are the answers for round number 2. We're going to go through the answers for round 3, and that's it for us tonight. We're doing 30 and 30, which means 30 questions in 30 minutes. It moves quickly. Some of the feedback we've gotten was slow down. Well, it's 30 and 30. We're not slowing down. You got to be fast. Number 1, Forrest Gump. 2, Green Book. Answer to number 3, that's Moulin Rouge. Black Klansman. Answer to number 4. Film number 4. Number 5, Rookie of the Year. Number 6, the reboot of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, an old early 60s probably movie. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, answer to number 7. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is the answer to number 8. That's that animated GIF right there. Number 9, A Few Good Men. Great, great movie. And number 10, The Goonies. Of course, One-Eyed Willie's ship heading off into the distance. Once again, thank you for joining us. Hope you all had a great time tonight. Come back again on Saturday. We're doing a romantic comedy round, a romantic comedy theme. We'd love to have you join us for that. Next week, we're going to have definitely Monday and Wednesday. We may add some extra nights, so pay attention. Just gives you more of a chance to win, have your name put into the hat for winning those huge prizes. I'll list all the prize details in the comments tonight, but thanks for joining. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks, Don Dingman.